Horizons on it anywhere?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That way I can make sure, with your permission, I'm going to go ahead and suspend your duplicate profile, okay?
What profile is that? Is it the one that says like?
You have two, yeah. So you've got one that's listed as the Humana Medicare, which is a little bit different than the Healthy Horizons. So we're just suspending the incorrect file and keeping active the correct file. Is that okay?
No, just leave it just in case. I don't want to cause any confusion, and I don't want to delete any of the history on MD Live where it says I spoke to a doctor named Adina M. Logan for pain.
Yes, fair enough.
For pain in my neck at 3:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on September 19, 2024. And then Dr. Brian Tupin for ear pain in my left ear at 1:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, March 12, 2024. And then Dr. Pamela Rondi Noel at 5:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on April 22nd, 2024 because of flu symptoms.
Yeah, all that's in your Healthy Horizons profile. The only history you have in the extra Humana file was a canceled appointment from today, which they scheduled in the correct profile. But I can definitely leave it active if you prefer that. That's not a problem at all.
When did they create?
When you're scheduling. I'm sorry?
When did they create that profile? Was it today?
Let me have a look and see. Give me 1 second. Let me back up to when it was first created. We're looking for 5478. No, this was originally created back in 2022. And then the Healthy Horizons, where you've got your pending appointment, you are in the waiting room right now. Let me see when that one was created.
No, if it was created in 2022, then don't delete it.
No, well, we wouldn't delete it regardless. We actually don't have the ability to do that. All suspending it does is makes it deactive, so you cannot schedule future appointments, but all of your records and all that will stay on file. We actually are required by law to do that. But I won't mess with it. We'll leave it active if that's what you prefer. That's not a problem. Again, just when you're scheduling in the future, make sure it's in the Healthy Horizons profile because we want to make sure we're billing the right insurance.
Well, then they should have enough medical experience to know that I have my health insurance with the member ID number H08403701.
Understood.
They're trying to make their job my problem. That's not my problem. I have Humana Medicaid. No. It covers MD Live telehealth.
Correct.
That's my benefit from Humana Medicaid. The job that needs to be done to allow me to be able to do the MD Live telehealth, that's not my problem.
Yes, sir, and I apologize if I wasn't clear. The extra profile you have is a Medicare account, not a Medicaid account. But like I said, I'll leave it active. I just wanted to make you aware that you have the two profiles so that when you schedule, you're scheduling in the right profile. If you speak to an agent, we'll probe and make sure, like I did, that we're in the right profile. But if you're scheduling online, you'll just want to make sure you're paying attention to that. If I suspend the Medicare profile, then you don't have to worry about that. The system online will not even allow you to schedule. But I understand you don't want to mess with that, so we'll leave it active. And then in reference to your reason for calling, I do show you are still in the waiting room there in Florida, waiting on a headache to be seen for a headache. With the phone consult is 772-538-8536. Now, normally
my phone number is 772-538-8586.
8586, correct. I apologize if I misspoke. Now, normally the wait time is within an hour. I can see you've been waiting for much longer than that. The concern that we have with this is because it is a Medicaid insurance, you can only see Medicaid providers. So it means that the available providers is usually not quite as large. Let me check on something real quick, though. You are physically in Florida, correct?
Yeah, I changed the telehealth from a video appointment to a phone appointment. They said it would be faster. It's still taking long. I mean,
Correct. Yeah, because we have to wait until there is a provider who's affiliated with Medicaid, you cannot see any other provider. That's why it tends to take just a little bit longer. So there's no way for me to know exactly how much longer you could be waiting. There's two options that you have. You can remain in the waiting room until you get assigned a provider, and they will go ahead and call you. We're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Or if you prefer, we have appointments first thing in the morning. Well, not first thing, but tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m., where you would actually be scheduled for a time as opposed to just waiting for a provider to be available. These are locked-in appointments. If you prefer that so you can get some rest tonight and have a little more control over when you're going to speak to a provider, I'm happy to get that done for you. Or again, you can just continue holding.
I've had a headache since yesterday.
Right. Okay.
Yesterday I had a fever and a headache. Today I just have a headache, and my head is like throbbing. Could you hold on a second? Let me call the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital to see if there's a provider there I could speak to while I have you on the phone. Maybe they could kind of speed up the process, so I don't have to go to the emergency room. Because the last time
speed up the process as far as what with MD Live.
Yeah, because the last time I went to Tallahassee Memorial Hospital, approximately a week ago, there was a nurse there named Nurse Christopher, and he snatched the EKG wires off my chest very aggressively, and it made my neck whiplash.
Oh, no.
And then he snatched the heart rate monitor wire off my right finger, my right index finger. And I asked the nurses what his name is so I could report him to 911. And when I asked them what his name is, they started trying to retaliate against me and saying they were going to trespass me. And thankfully I had 911 on the phone and they could hear them trying to propagandize a falsified police report. And they told me, they made a big deal out of me reporting the nurse. And so I'm trying to avoid having to go there. So could you just hold on a second so I could call them, please?
I can hold for about 1 minute, but that's about it because I do need to... For calling Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare. Press 1.
Hopefully they answer within 1 minute.
If you would like to search for staff members by name, press 2. To speak to an operator, press 9.
You still there?
I'm here, sir. Good evening, sorry from Memorial Hospital. How can I help you?
I have MD Live telehealth on the line with us. They're having difficulties finding a Medicaid provider to do a telehealth video or phone appointment with me. I have a really bad headache since yesterday. Yesterday I had a fever and a headache. Today it's just a headache. So I'm concerned about that. And then previously when I had these symptoms, it was from a similar situation, from an unsanitary transportation vehicle that was sent to pick me up and bring me home from my doctor's appointment. And specifically yesterday, they sent another unsanitary transportation vehicle that the driver and the passenger that she was driving with was smoking cigarettes in the transportation vehicle before I got in the vehicle. And when I got in the vehicle, I started feeling feverish and a headache, and today I have a headache still. So I'm trying to see what's my best option so I don't have to go to the emergency room. Because the last time I went to the emergency room at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital, there was a nurse there named Nurse Christopher. He snatched the EKG wires off of me, and it made my neck whiplash. And then he snatched the heart rate monitor wire off my finger also, and they tried to trespass me because I reported them.
Sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is the operation desk. I can transfer you over to the emergency room triage if you would like.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, one moment. Alrighty, and sir, I also need to go ahead and disconnect. At this point, you want to stay in our waiting room, though, correct?
Please wait while we transfer your call to the next available representative.
I do have to go ahead and disconnect unless there's anything else that I can do for you as far as MD Live is concerned. But we do still have you in the waiting room until you get a provider, okay?
Hello? Yes, ma'am, I've got MD Live on the line with us right now. I'm trying to find out if there's a doctor I could speak to there at the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital without me having to go there. MD Live Telehealth, they're saying they're having difficulties finding a provider who accepts Medicaid to do a telehealth or phone conference with me. And I'm trying to see what I could do because I have a really bad headache since yesterday. And yesterday I had a fever and a headache. And it was from an unsanitary transportation vehicle that Humana Medicaid Motive Care Transportation sent to bring me home from my primary care physician's appointment at FSU Primary Health with Dr. George Whitten. And the driver of the unsanitary transportation vehicle and the passenger was smoking cigarettes in the vehicle before they picked me up. And when I got into the vehicle, I started feeling feverish and I started feeling a headache. I started feeling sick. And I'm trying to speak to a doctor on the MD Live telehealth so I don't have to go to the emergency room, because when I went to the emergency room approximately a week ago at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital, there was a nurse there named Nurse Christopher. He snatched the EKG wires off my chest and made my neck whiplash, and then he snatched the heart rate wire off my right index finger, and it also hurt my neck. And then when I tried to report him, they tried to trespass me from Tallahassee Memorial Hospital by falsifying a police report to the police officer that was dispatched after I called 911 on the nurse who assaulted me. So I'm trying to see if there's a doctor I could speak to over the phone at the emergency room there, or maybe somebody that could coordinate with MD Live telehealth so I don't have to go to the emergency room, please.
I'm sorry to interrupt. This is MD Live. Omar, we are not able to facilitate with any local hospitals. Everything we do is strictly virtual, and we have our providers that are with MD Live directly that would not be affiliated with the local hospital. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect, but you are still in our waiting room. If you wind up going in person to be seen, your appointment will get canceled, okay?
Yeah, it's just that I've been in the waiting room for more than 2 hours now, and it keeps saying 10 minutes or less. So I don't know what to do, and my head's hurting.
Correct, yes, sir. And so we can go ahead and get you, you'll stay in the waiting room until you do get assigned a provider, or we can get you scheduled for the morning, and then, of course, you're always able to go and get local care. If waiting for an available provider tonight is not beneficial for your health.
Well, what do you guys recommend I do?
So I'm not clinical staff. I'm not able to make any recommendations other than if you feel like your life is in danger, if you've got serious head injury, something like that, definitely want to be seen in person. Aside from that, based on the symptoms of the headache that you're having, you can remain in our waiting room. It's just at your discretion.
Okay, ma'am, are you still there at the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, what do you recommend I do?
That is the same as she said. We do not give medical advice over the phone. If you want to be seen as a ER patient, you're welcome to come in. But as telling you anything as far as consult over the phone, we do not do that at all. You have to be seen here physically in our ER to get any kind of medical advice.
Sorry, could you say that again? The phone is really far away.
Yes, I was saying that you have to be seen as an ER patient to get any kind of medical advice. We do not do medical advice over the phone.
So just wait until the MD Live telehealth finds a doctor.
It'll have to be your decision.
That's probably going to be easier for me because if I go to the emergency room, it's going to make my neck hurt worse. I'm traveling back and forth, and then they might send another unsanitary transportation vehicle to bring me home. And I don't want to go through that again.
Alrighty, Omar. Again, this is Liz with MD Live. So we'll go ahead then and just leave you in the waiting room. If you change your mind and you feel like you need urgent care, as the kind woman from the hospital said, you can definitely go in and be seen in person. If you decide you want to go ahead and cancel tonight's appointment and wait till the morning, just give us a call back and we can get that taken care of for you, okay?
Okay, is there a way maybe if you could tell them to expedite it so they could try to find a doctor faster so I could talk to them?
No, sir, there's no way to expedite that. We just have to wait until the providers become available. Unless we schedule for like a certain time, but we don't have any scheduled appointments tonight, but we do have them in the morning starting at 9 a.m.
So does that mean I'm not going to be able to talk to a doctor until 9 a.m.?
If we cancel you from the waiting room tonight and schedule you for tomorrow morning, then correct. But again, you are welcome to stay in the waiting room as long as it takes to find a provider. We're not going to kick you out of the waiting room. You'll stay there until a provider becomes available. There's no way for me to guarantee how long that's going to take. We do have to wait for those providers to become available.
Okay, well, if you could you just please tell them it's urgent? Maybe they'll kind of hurry up a little bit.
So I'll notate the file, of course, that you called and that you were checking about the status of the consultation. And then as soon as the provider becomes available, you'll receive your phone call to complete the appointment, okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you both.
All right, you're welcome, Omar. Thanks for calling MD Live.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Time now is 12:44 a.m. Today is Friday, May 31st, 2024. The duration of this audio transcript is 17 minutes and 16 seconds. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.